What's going on, everybody? All right, so today's video, I'm going to go over one of the most egregious offenses. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to show you guys how to add a headband to players who don't have them or take away a headband. So bear with me through this video as we go through this. You'll be able to do this on all the consoles, whether it be Stadia, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So no worries about that. All right, as you can see here, Luka Doncic does not have a headband. Now, this entire generation, we haven't been able to add headbands to real players. If we go to accessories, this is where it should show up, but it doesn't show up here. Even if we go to shoes and gear, it doesn't show up here. It's not really surprising. We haven't been able to add headbands to real players this entire generation. To me, it makes no sense, but maybe they have a good reason for it. Don't know. But I'd be very surprised if we start next generation without being able to add headbands to players. That would be simply ridiculous. All right, so let's go to create a player. First thing you're going to want to do, no matter what console you're on, you want to create a created player that has a headband. I named this player W Headband to stand for with headband, and this one is my player that I created with no headband. All right, so next up, what I'm going to do is show you guys both player portraits are going to show the players without a headband. But when I go into edit player, show you real quick, he actually does have a headband. So don't be confused by the little portraits that show up. Okay, let's go down to player. Let's go to import player DNA. What we want to do, we're not going to keep this created player. We really don't care about this created player, but we want to leave him there. We're not going to overwrite this created player. So go to use NBA player and download the player that you want to add a headband to. So I had Luka Doncic. We know he doesn't have a headband, but let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and find him. Here he is. So we're going to import his appearance and attributes. All right, headband disappears. Let's go up to, I believe it's accessories. All right. Well, you know what? Let's go to shoes. Let's see if that does it. So when we go to shoes, you see, if you see any accessory or gear item that is colored red, change that. It doesn't matter if it's under shoes and gear or accessories. Go ahead, son. All right. So if it's red, just change it. All right. So I'm going to go back to shoes and gear and change these crew socks. And then as you can see, all the other gear from that created player came back, including the headband. Now I can get rid of, the arm gear and the striped socks. I don't really care about the striped socks. We can change that. But what you want to do from here is you don't want to save this as a created player. Do not save this as a created player. You want to export the player DNA. Now there is a difference, slight subtle differences between player DNA and created player, but don't save this as a created player. Go to export player DNA, and then I'm going to save over. Actually, I'll just do a new one. Go to save player DNA, and then just name it whatever you want. Name it Doncic with headband. All right. Then we save it, and we can back out of this player and just remove changes. All right. So now, when I go into, I can go to whatever roster, whether you're in a My League or if you're in a My League, doesn't matter. You can be in anything. Just grab a roster. You can be in. I don't know if you can do player DNA in my GM. I don't know. Maybe you can. All right. So now let's go find Doncic. And here he is. Let's go to edit player. All right. So now let's say you're in my league and you're like a few years ahead and his rating is a 99. You don't want to mess up his rating. So we're going to go to import player DNA. Use player DNA. Oh, no, we're going to go to import player DNA. Sorry. And load/download player DNA. And then we're going to go right here to Doncic with headband. We're just going to do import appearance, but keep the attributes because we don't want to change those. All right, so now when we look at him, he has those accessories from that player DNA. He has the headband. And this is where we save this player, and then we can save the roster or save the My League or whatever we're in. So we would just keep the changes. Again, you're not going to see any changes to their photo, but when you go back to edit player, the changes will stay. They will keep the headband. So I know people are going to say it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Last year, we put out the tutorial and people kept saying it didn't work, but it works. So anyway, all right. So now we want to remove the headband from a player. So again, let's start from the very beginning. I'm going to exit this. What we're going to do is go back to create a player, and we're going to go to our player with no headband. As you can see, the player that had a headband is still his original self. So that's great. Now let's go to the player with no headband. All right. So as you can see here, so you just need to change his gear to whatever you want it to be. His accessories also, change it to whatever you want it to be before you leave out of here. All right, so I'll change that to none. Get rid of the hand wrap. None. Get rid of the arm sleeve. All right. And then lower body, we get rid of the compression pants. All right. And then let me save this real quick. All right. So now he's going to have no accessories. I saved that. Let me go back in here. All right. So no accessories, no headband. That's how it looks. Next thing we want to do is go to import player DNA. Again, I'm going to use NBA player and just find the player that has a headband that we want to take off. Let's see who has a headband. I'll just use Tobias Harris because he's simply the easiest one to find. So I'm just going to import everything. Doesn't matter. All right. He has his headband. Let's go up to either the shoes and gear or accessories. I'm going to go to shoes and gear. Going to change his socks because that was red. All right. So now I can change them to whatever I want them to be. All right. And then I'm going to just save this player DNA. Do not save the created player. Export the player DNA. I'm sorry. Export the player DNA. So I'm going to just name it Tobias No Headband. I didn't even name it correctly. It says Tobias. TB. All right. So from here, I can just remove changes and return. And then I can go into my roster or my league again. And there is a creative player. Actually, I'll show you guys real quick. Let's go into my league. Let's go into my league. Let's just go into the my league that I already have going. I'll show you guys something real quick while we're doing this. All right, so there is a way to get to create a player from my league. Go to front office and go down here to create a player, and you can do create a player from right here inside of my league. All right, but anyway, if I'm in my league, I just want to go, find the roster. This is the one I replaced. So go to roster, find Tobias Harris, go to edit player. He should have a, see, he has a headband here. So what I'm going to do is go to import player DNA, load/download player DNA, and click on Tobias with no headband. And we don't want to import attributes, so we'll go to the second one. Import appearance, keep attributes. All right. So now when we look at him, see, he just no headband, we can save them just like that. That is how you add and remove headbands. I've shown you guys everything I can for this video. I'm just going to keep the changes. Showing you guys everything I can for this video. So stick with the channel. You guys know I'm just coming and hitting the tutorials as much as I can. I'm just trying to prepare for the next gen version of the game. Can't wait to see what all is accessible in that. And for now, just leaving you guys who are going to play current gen in a great spot by providing you with all these tutorials. All right, until next time, I am the Goods on YouTube. You guys can follow me on Twitter at TGsoGood. I look forward to seeing you in the comment section and over there. Share this video with whoever you like. Until next time.